Thank you for being here today. Obviously, with COVID, a number of restrictions remain in place, even for events such as a funeral. That is to say that those of you who are here today are here because you had a truly invaluable role in my mother's life, and for that, I want to say thank you. It's evident that my mom wore a lot of hats. She served many roles as a grandma, a daughter, a sister, an aunt, a cousin, a friend. But honestly, the role I believe she loved more than anything was being a mom. There's a weird, powerful relationship between a mother and her children. I'm not a mom personally, but as a daughter, I can tell you her guidance directed me. Her compassion moved me, and her encouragement kept me going. Even now, it's that spirit of hers that lives inside of me that's getting me through today. Being a mom was just the tip of the iceberg for a woman I would consider an unsinkable ship. When I reflect on my mom's life and I think about the values which define her, I think of her generosity, the way in which she inspired or motivated you, her tenacious drive, her unbounding pride in her children and her family, and her resilience. My mom was just a teenager when her own mom passed away, and in many ways became the mother of the house for a brief while. She was just 15 when her dad remarried and her family doubled in size. Once one of 4, she quickly became the oldest of 8. I think that puts into perspective one of my mother's most defining strengths, her resilience. Anyone who knew my mom could tell you her life was filled with hurdles, endless obstacles. She always found a way to turn into new challenges. Whatever it was, she persisted, resilient to setbacks that inevitably would come her way. She had a way of making you feel like no problem was unfixable. There was always a solution, and if there wasn't a solution, there was always tomorrow. She had the mental and emotional strength of a pack of wolves, this relentless strength, the type that only comes from falling down, picking yourself up, dusting yourself off, and trying again. My mom taught me that failure is a part of life. She was gracious in her shortcomings, but ferocious in her comebacks. I consider my mom one of the most successful people I know. She was a single mom who taught me that you can be both a mom and have a career at the very same time. She's done everything, and she's failed plenty of times too. She exemplified that setbacks only fuel your focus. My mother's outlook on life was as inspiring as it was generous. She had an enormous capacity to give of herself, to give to others. She sacrificed herself to be able to give to the people that she cared about. She had a way of making everything special. Random holidays, silly traditions, celebrating and calling on every single half birthday, and sometimes she'd even mail me half of a card. Growing up, I used to scoff when people told me I was just like my mom. I couldn't believe it. I was nothing like her. I wanted to be my own person. Some 20-odd years later, I can't think of a better, more meaningful compliment. The truth is, I don't think I'll ever stack up to her. If I turn out to be half the mother she was, I would consider it a success and really an honor. She was the most creative person I've ever known.
Say, I love you, Daddy.
My constant cheerleader, and immensely proud of her children. Even after dementia ravaged her memory, she didn't remember my name, and it didn't stop her. When I would walk into the memory care facility, she would just beam, and she would proudly stand up, even though she didn't know my name, in the common area and announce, "My mother is here. Have you guys met my mother?" Go around and introduce me to all of the other residents that lived there. So you can imagine her before dementia. She was so proud, which is probably why she saved everything. If you wrote her a card, she saved it. If you made her a homemade gift, she kept it. One year I wrote her a really nice card and she loved it so much, or so she said, that she resent it back to me with her own notes and a Post-it note in between the lines and in the card. I don't know if that was just her Dutch side coming out or if she even liked the card, but if she cared about you, she kept those kinds of things. My mother always had a solution. I mentioned earlier she experienced a number of challenges. She had so many opportunities where she could have just given up. But she didn't. She stood firm. Or at least she kept picking herself back up until she got it right. In fact, when I was a little girl, she used to recite this poem. "'Tis a lesson you should heed. Try, try again. If at first you don't succeed, try, try again. Then your courage should appear. For if you will persevere, you will conquer, never fear. Try, try again." My mother embodied every sense of that poem. She personified what it really means to be tenacious and determined. Her resolve was unparalleled. If my mother made up her mind about something, you might as well put money on the pony. She was going to do it. She was going to find a way. Every year, she set multiple types of goals. Short-term goals, long-term goals, big dreams, achievable goals, personal and professional goals, you name it. And she didn't just write the goal down. She'd go do it. Then she'd come back and date every single goal after she checked it off. She constantly talked about the life she'd live once she retired. She had big plans. But 10 months after she retired, dementia had other ideas. I believe that that's what she would want for us in the wake of her passing, to continue setting goals and dreaming big. Life starts at 40, she used to say. Her dad told it to her and she loved repeating it. I don't think so. Life isn't guaranteed to anybody in this room. Perhaps the hardest thing to accept about death is the reminder of our own mortality, the magnitude of the legacy we leave behind. My mother's death sheds light on the enormous value she brought to me and the value she brought to this room. Leave it to her to find a way to keep cheerleading, keep guiding, and keep inspiring me, even now, to live a life of value and leave a lasting legacy. Strangely enough, I'd say I'm closer to my mom now than I've been in the last 4 years. It's weird when someone you care about, really care about, passes away. You start talking to them. At least I have. They're the clearest conversations I've ever had with her, not just because of dementia no longer being an issue, but because we're no longer talking on top of each other. With all of these characteristics, she instilled in me the belief that drives me, and perhaps that's the most powerful gift you can ever leave someone. Through her unshakable belief in me, she taught me how to believe in myself. She made me want to be a better woman. People keep telling me, "I'm sorry, your mother is no longer with us." But the truth is, Mom, it feels like you're still here. Like your favorite artist, Josh Groban, would sing, "I feel you all around me. The memory of you is so clear. In my head, I can hear you speaking. And despite the painful reality of knowing that you won't be there beside me when I get married or when I have kids and all the other milestones, there's still a part of you in my heart that I know will never leave."